State your name. Miguel Duran. Spell your name for the record. Miguelduran. I know you just stated your name up front, but into the microphone, could you state your name for the court, please? Miguel Duran. Miguelduran. How old are you, sir? I'm 39 years old. Where were you born? The Dominican Republic. Mr. Duran, when did you come to the United States? I came to the United States first time, 1972. When you first came to the United States, where did you set up your residence? New York City. Are you lawfully in this country? Yes, sir. What is your immigration status? Green card. So you are a lawful resident alien? Yes, sir. Mr. Duran, are you presently incarcerated in a prison? Yes, sir. Is that a federal or a state prison? Federal prison. How long a term are you serving? 14 years. Where were you convicted of the charges that you are presently serving the sentence for? New York City. When did you go to jail? When is the last time you have been out, in other words? The beginning of 1996, April 27, 1996. Was your conviction in state or federal court? Federal court. Was that for one charge or more than one charge? Or what do you recall about the charges? I got 4 counts. 4 counts? Yes, sir. What drug or drugs were involved in those counts, Mr. Duran? Excuse me? What drug or drugs were involved in those counts you were convicted on? Cocaine. Did you plead guilty? Yes, sir. Was it a conspiracy count? Yeah. At this time, your total sentence is how long? How long? 168 months, 14 years. Presently, when are you expecting to be released? May 2008. Mr. Duran, do you have a plea agreement with the government in this case? In this case? No. What is your understanding of what may happen in this case as a result of your cooperation? You are cooperating, is that correct? Yes, sir. What is your understanding of what could happen? Well, I'm just hoping, like the city of Pittsburgh. Like the government right here informed New York City of what I did, and I might get I'm trying to get a reduction. It depends on the judge. But of your 14-year sentence, you have served about how much to this point? 10 years. Now, to your understanding, who controls whether or not your sentence would ever be cut or reduced? The judge. The judge where? In New York City. That's the Southern District of New York Federal Court? Yes, sir. Mr. Duran, in this case, have you been told anything about, will anyone be told of your cooperation here in Pittsburgh, up in New York? If anybody. I asked it badly. Let me re-ask it. Have you been told by anyone here that what you do in Pittsburgh will be brought to the attention of the authorities in New York? Oh, yes. Okay. Specifically, have you been told that any cooperation you offer will be brought to the attention of the United States Attorney's Office in the Southern District of New York? Yes, sir. How about INS? Were you told that the cooperation would be brought to the attention of INS? Yes, sir. How about the judge in New York? Well, it's up to New York to send a letter to the judge. Mr. Duran, what are your obligations in testifying here? What do you understand your obligations to be? Say the truth. Be clear. Okay. Are you also potentially facing deportation? Yes, sir. Mr. Duran, back in December of 1998, and again, a few months after that, were you visited by someone from Pittsburgh? Yes, sir. Who came to see you? The officer over there. In the back row? Yes, with a black suit. Mr. Dilicente here? Yes, sir. And did he come with some other agent or agents? He come with another agent. Where were you when you were visited back in 98 and early 99? Where were you? MCC, New York. That is a correctional building. M, as in Mary? MCC? Yes, sir. That's right in the city of New York. Yeah, downtown New York. At that time, back in 98, were you asked whether you would be willing to cooperate in any matter down here in Pittsburgh? They wanted to ask me a few questions. Did they ask you the questions? Yes, sir. All right. Do you recall at that time, were they interested in one particular individual? Yes, sir. Who was that? Lowell Hines, named Bunny. Did you offer information to them about Lowell Hines or Bunny? Yes, sir. At some point, were you represented by an attorney at that time? Yes, sir. At some point, do you know if you and your attorney asked the Southern District of New York if you could get your sentence cut? He tried to do that. Did New York agree that they would seek a sentence cut for you? Not at that time. All right. Did they tell you no? No. At that point, was there any further cooperation after your interview with Delicente and the other agent? I tried, but I didn't get no cooperation. All right. You went back to a federal prison, right? Yes, sir. And about 2 years ago, you were approached again? December 2002. Okay. So, 2.5, going on 3 years, right? Yes, sir. Who approached you this time about cooperating? Robert, the agent from right there at the desk. Robert at the first table? Yes, sir. Uzzolino? Yes, sir. Do you recall where you first met Uzzolino? Yes. Where were you? I was in federal institution in Elkton, Ohio. Were you asked whether you wanted to cooperate at that point? Yes, sir. Did you agree to cooperate at that point? Yes. Mr. Duran, how long did you know Bunny Hines? Since 1988, something there. Do you know where he is now? I believe he's dead. Mr. Duran, how old were you when you first came to New York City? 6 years old. How far did you go in school? 12th grade. After you got out of high school, did you have some legitimate employment? I used to work in a parking lot and a grocery store. At any point, did you start selling drugs? Yes, sir. Okay. How did you begin? At what level? When I was in high school. As far as level of drug dealing, where did you start out? Small amount, 3.5 grams. 3.5 grams? Yes, sir. What drug? Cocaine. Where would there be typical places you would sell 3.5 grams of cocaine? On a corner in New York City. Did you have a particular street corner that was yours? Well, yeah, I had a spot on the corner. At that time, about what year would you have started selling cocaine on street corners? 1984, 85. How much would 3.5 grams of cocaine sell for? It was like $50 a gram at that time. So, $175 or something like that? Yes. What part of New York City was your street corner where you were selling cocaine at the beginning, back in the mid-'80s? Washington Heights. That's in the opposite side of Manhattan. Did you stay at that level for some period of time? 3.5 gram deals? No, I keep going up. I started buying more amounts. What quantities did you move up to? Ounces, eighth, half a kilos, until I made it to kilos, and eventually hundreds of kilos.